you have to make life good. Nobody's going to give you anything.
No.
What you want, you have to get out and get it. That is what I always taught my granddaughter.
And you're
That if you want it, you got to get out and get it. Because nobody's not going to give you anything.
What's some advice that you would give a young person starting out, say like 13, 14, like you were when you started at the homestead?
I should be given in 2 or 3 words. The golden rule.
Treat
You
on.
remember the golden rule, you don't have any trouble. But it began to deviate from your home training and go this way or that way, then you run into trouble.
What are some of the things that you're most proud of when you reflect back?
Well, I have been and I am most proud of the fact that of all my classmates of 27, I was the only black, and I've been the only black to reach the top, a white to reach the top, because they call me Washington, D.C., they call me New York, they call me any place to give information and advice.
You said that that Penn still contacts you. Or you said that Penn still contacts you for advice.
Yeah. I go to Penn. I've gotten every honor Penn has given since I've been out of school. And my white classmates say, Bill, what the hell are you feeding them down there? I'm just feeding them what they gave me. I'm not asking for anything, and I don't go them to anything unless they ask me.
Okay.
I'm just doing my thing the way it was taught me.
And you've been honored in other You've been honored by other groups in other circumstances.
Oh yeah. I've been honored in New York. Was it the last time we went to New York, Carla? You and myself, somebody, some of California, all around. When you do, the world does not look upon you as being white, nor black, nor brown. Some do, but the average one does not. They look upon you as what you can do. Well, one advice of which I would like to convey if I had an opportunity excuse the expression, I'd like to tell them to close up their damn mouth and listen.
Okay.
See, you bring them up in the world, they don't listen to you. They listen to everybody else except you. Make them close up their mouths and listen to you.
Okay.
You brought them in the world. And if you can't make them shut up and listen, who in the hell's going to do it?
Sure.
The responsibility of life is at home today, and mom and dad are responsible.
Okay. So your advice would be for young people to listen more to their elders.
My advice is not only for young people to listen, but old people study up means to make them listen.
Okay.
Because as mums and dads, they've been lazy as hell in America. Your son leaves the house at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. You don't ask him where he's going. Part of it, you think he's down the street playing.
So maybe some of the responsibility is on the parents as well?
Your parents.
Okay.
It's your responsibility. You brought him into the world. You're supposed to know when he's going down to that bar there. You're supposed to know when he's horsing around. Talk to him. That's all I can do. But I talk to my children and grandchildren and tell them about these things.
What advice do you give to them, to your grandchildren?
Keep the dress down. That's damn good advice. Keep your dress down. You know?
Okay.
And tell them to keep your dress down enough. Yeah, listen. May take them a little time, but keep your dress down, girls.
Do you have any other advice that you give them?
My advice is, I once heard a song. And what was that song? Oh, I wonder how the old folks are at home. Now, the old folks at home will tell you what to do and how to do it. But you don't have those old folks at home today.
Okay.
The old folks, instead of being at home telling the children what to do, they got the dresses half up to the butt themselves walking down the street.
Okay.
You know?
Sure.
And that's a fact.
What advice do you have to give young people on money?
Don't spend what you don't have. That's the best rule in the world. If you don't have it in your pocket, don't spend it. See, if I want money to spend, look back after my pocketbook and I don't have that money, goodbye for the day.
That's
See,
good advice.
goodbye for the day. See, when I look in that pocketbook and if I don't have a greenback, you can't spend it. That is my advice to young people. They don't spend what they have. They get and spend everything since you got and they got. And that system has to be stopped.
Okay.
Only in America do you find the children going and spending what they don't have.
Mm-hmm.
You go to England, you go to Italy, you go around. The girl will go and whisper to Mama, Mama, do I have that? They shake their head if they have it.
So young people need to be more financially responsible. Okay.
They need to be educated on finances. They need to be educated on sex. They need to be educated on eating. They need to be educated on dressing. And that is responsibility of home.
Okay. Let's hear your advice on love.
Well, the best thing is on love is study the word love. Read about it in a dictionary. Read what love is all about. Go to the encyclopedia and read about love. See. Because with all of that reading about an encyclopedia, about love, with all of the talk about love, with all of the eating about love, with everything about love, there is a cat somewhere back of that door, around the alley, can break all that stuff you've been told down in 20 minutes.
Okay.
All that stuff. Mama tell you don't do this, Mama tell you don't do that. Mama got to go a little further than that. Mama has to go with you a certain place here and there to make certain that you understand what that means. Because there's a smart cat out there. Smart cat.
Mm-hmm.
He's been told all the questions, why, when, how.
Mm-hmm.
And you break it down
Mm-hmm.
on a period of time,
Mm-hmm.
if you're human.
So again, parents need to play a role here. Again, so parents need to play a role here. Keep their
The parents
educated.
have lost, your parents, the parents, they have lost the role of responsibility. They have too much to do, too many clubs to go to, too many people to feed, too much of this and too much of that. You've forgotten your child. And your child forgotten you.
What about advice you have on education? Advice you have on education.
Advice to education is fine. You've had advice on education from the time you were that tall all the way up. But Mama needs to talk more, and Dad needs to talk more.
So just in terms of some of your affiliations, you were the first black member of the Kiwanis, correct?
I was the first black members of the Kiwanis, yeah. I could have been also of the other groups that you got, but I joined one. And that's what everybody should do, but a lot of them don't. A lot of people get in there when they can get into to be popular.
Why did you choose that one?
Well, because they were the most active educationally, the most active historical, the most active in general of all. That's the reason I selected.
And did you speak at a lot of conventions, or did you speak
But I don't like to speak at all of them now. The reason I don't, because I don't charge. And when you don't charge, they take advantage of you.
Uh-huh.
Can you speak here? They'd have you speaking every damn night in the week if you would. You know.
That's true. Yeah.
So I take my time and select where I want to speak. See, I've spoken to the whites and the blacks, the blues, anything color you got. If you are intelligent and want the message, you get the message. And one of the messages is golden rule.
What are some of the other messages that you talked about?
Anything that they want. Because when you're highly educated, you know the field, the area. You don't go to school for 8 years and then go back studying whatnot unless you pick up everything they got, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't have to go to work to get a speech for tomorrow. I can start talking today about a speech, about anything. Mm-hmm. And that they like. I speak to women too. The only thing I don't speak to those bumhead youngsters they're raising. I need to run when I get those cats.
Okay.
I keep my energy to run.
Tell me how you would describe yourself.
Number 1, humane. Number 2, love people. Number 3, believe in the correct way of doing things. Number 4, insist that the correct thing is done, even among the children. Never leave a child with the idea that he doesn't understand or she doesn't understand. Take time and explain to the child what, when, where, and why. Mm-hmm. Okay. Eat well, sleep well, and learn how to treat and know people. Our greatest mistake in the world is not knowing how to live with, how to understand, and get along with people.
Okay. Tell me what your definition of leadership is.
Leadership is not sitting on your butt and talking. Leadership is getting out, performing, showing what, how, and when.
Okay.
That's leadership.
What is the public's major misperception of you? What is is there a major misperception of you?
Misconception?
Yeah, of you.
Well, let's put it this way. I don't give a damn about being misconception or misconceived as long as I know I'm right. If I'm right, but by the same token, if I'm wrong, you are the first one to know it.
Okay.
That's me. That's Bill Waddell. That is how Bill Waddell was reared.
Okay.
I make mistakes, but I'm not sorry to say I'm sorry. If I make mistake, I say, well, I was wrong. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And man has to reach that level in life. Don't be stubborn. Don't be mean as hell to your wife and then don't tell her you're sorry. Mm-hmm. And vice versa.
Okay.
It works two ways.
Sure.
Be sorry when you're sorry.
It gets back to that golden rule that you're talking.
Hmm?
Gets back to that golden rule that you're
The
talking
golden
about.
rule.
What do
But
you?
by using the golden rule, you also have to think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's an old saying is, of all my mother's children of 8, I love myself best. And after I was provided for, the hell with the rest. Remember that too. See, because if you don't remember, the devil's going to take advantage of you.
Uh-huh.
See.
This is our next question for you. What do you consider to be your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement, I think, in life is the ability to communicate with people. If you cannot communicate, you're lost. You may as well go back home. Communication is one of the greatest, or is the greatest thing that we have as people.
What professional accomplishment are you most proud of in your professional life?
Well, one of them is that in Tuskegee Institute, Alabama, there's a building as long as from here to your post office, and it's wide and long. That's the School of Veterinary Medicine, of which I drew up the plans for.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is your strongest regret? What is your strongest regret?
Well, at my age, you don't get to the point of regretting strong at that age. I can truthfully say the man above has been great to me. He's opened up the fields of opportunities. I've in turn, of which I open up more for people. I'm not hungry. I guess I have everything I want.
Mm-hmm.
So what the hell I have to be wanting for anything?
Right.
I would say I'm a happy man. Anytime you can sit down and say you have everything you want, what else you can have?
Sure. Okay. The next question. What advice do you want to share with young